name's Kent Rollins. Me and my wife Shannon, we live here in southwest corner of Oklahoma in Hollis, and been a cowboy all my life, but sort of took it to a different level, I guess, at one time and started cooking on ranches. Cooked for elk hunters first in the Gila Wilderness, and then went to cooking for ranches in probably '92, I guess, and been cooking ever since. You know, my mother taught me to cook when I was 7, 8 years old, and she said, "You'll learn to clean, cook, and sew. You'll need them all." Now, the sewing I did come on different things than clothes most of the time, but they all have come in very good, I promise you. And it's something that we do, that we love, that we get to share with people across the nation from one coast to the other. So if you can feed their belly and their heart at the same time, it's a done deal. That morning, it was in the winter, probably January, and I was up on the computer, and we had some old windows in the house. You could hear the wind whistling through them. And so I was looking at windows on the internet, and I just typed in Google, good energy efficient windows, and Energy Guard popped up. I was looking at them when I heard this, and I went to the door, and there's old Tim, and he said, "I'm with Energy Guard Windows," and I said, "Surely not. Y'all can't get here that quick. I ain't even pressed a button." So I really think it was divine intervention. He was knocking on the door while I was looking, and me and him got a lot in common in some ways. We both like to trade and visit, and he spent most of the afternoon with me and Shannon, and he just felt like real people and felt like family before he went home. When they come and put in the windows, and they put in some big, really big picture windows in the front here, and then windows upstairs, they cased around the doors and made them look like they were nearly brand new too. And they done a remarkable job. We enjoyed the crew. We fed them a good meal at noon that day. They were good to visit with. They were very mannerly. They cleaned up well. Just a good bunch of folks. Well, I think really it was what his windows could do for efficiency on energy, but also the price. We had looked at windows, and hey, some of them things you'd have to mortgage a house to buy. And these have done save me probably twice the amount of money that I paid in 2 years that I had them. When we got the windows put in, I think the first thing we noticed was the view. You could see so much looking out the window. But we went to the store that day and come back up. It was like the house got completely remodeled when you put them new windows in. You'd have people come down the street and they'd say, "What have y'all done to the house?" I would say, "We'll just put new windows in." The second thing was the quietness, and you don't hear any whistling from the wind no more. And I would say the visibility factor plus the quiet factor, but energy's got to be number one. I'd recommend them to anyone, and I trust people by what they show me when they knock on the door. And when old Tim knocked on my door, I could just tell he was real people. That goes a long way. But when somebody stood behind a product as long as they have, and when they come and they put it in, and you can see the difference 30 minutes after they've gone, I tell them, you better get on the ordering list because they're going to be behind. These folks do a great job. They were very polite and good to work with. But it's about value too. Not just the value that you save from what you've got, but the value that the company has when they come and put them in.